Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever visited your parents' house, dug through some old boxes, and found a treasure trove of VHS tapes? Maybe it's your childhood birthday parties, school plays, or just some classic family moments. And then you realize, you don't even own a VCR anymore, and even if you did, how on earth do you get those memories onto your modern laptop or smartphone? Or maybe you're a retro gaming enthusiast wanting to record some classic PlayStation 2 or Nintendo 64 gameplay without breaking the bank on high-end capture gear. Well, I was scrolling through AliExpress the other day, looking for a cheap and easy solution to exactly this problem, and I stumbled upon something that really caught my eye. Today, we're taking a look at a very inexpensive little gadget that promises to bridge the gap between the analog past and our digital present. So, what exactly are we looking at? This is the LCC-CA USB audio-video capture card adapter. Basically, it's a tiny dongle that takes old-school analog signals, you know, those red, white, and yellow cables, or an S-video cable, and converts them into a digital format that your computer can understand via standard USB 2.0 connection. Looking at the product page, it seems pretty popular. It boasts a 4.8 star rating with over 800 units sold, which is usually a good sign when shopping on AliExpress. The whole idea here is to give you a complete, budget-friendly kit to transfer your old VHS recordings, camcorder tapes, or retro video game exploits directly to your PC, allowing you to save them to your hard drive, edit them, or even burn them to a DVD if you're feeling nostalgic. Let's break down what this little device actually offers based on the specs and images. First off, the design is very straightforward. On one end, you have a standard USB Type-A plug that goes straight into your computer. On the other end, splitting off from a short cable, you have your input connectors. You've got the classic RCA composite inputs, yellow for video, and red and white for your left and right stereo audio. Alongside those, there's also an S-video port. This is actually a great inclusion, because if your VCR or old camcorder supports S-video, it generally provides a slightly cleaner, sharper picture than the standard yellow composite cable. Inside the package, you get the capture dongle itself, a handy little USB extension cable, which is a nice touch if the USB ports on your PC are hard to reach or crowded, and a mini CD-ROM that contains the software and drivers. According to the spec sheet, this device supports both NTSC and PAL video formats, so it should work pretty much anywhere in the world regardless of what region your tapes or consoles are from. It also mentions support for adjusting brightness, contrast, hue, and saturation, meaning you have a bit of software control to try and fix up washed-out old tapes. As for compatibility, the listing states it works with Windows 2000, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 10. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Since this is an unbranded, ultra-budget gadget from AliExpress, we have to set our expectations realistically. Let's start with the pros. Number 1 is absolutely the price and accessibility. Getting professional analog to digital conversion can be incredibly expensive, whether you buy high-end dedicated gear or pay a service to digitize tapes for you. This little dongle gives you the power to do it yourself at home for practically pennies. Number 2 is the all-in-one nature of the package. I love that it includes the audio inputs right there with the video on the same USB interface. You don't need a separate cable running to your sound card's microphone jack, which used to be a huge headache with older capture cards back in the day. Plus, having the option for both composite and S-video gives you flexibility depending on what output your source device has. Number 3, looking at the customer reviews on the page, the general consensus is that it just works. People are successfully digitizing their tapes, the package arrives as described, and most buyers seem pretty happy with the simple process. However, there are definitely some cons and potential pain points you need to be aware of before buying. First and foremost is the video quality. One of the reviewers clearly states, "It does its job, but the video quality isn't great. Therefore, I don't recommend it for digitizing videotapes if you are looking for perfection." You have to remember, you are taking a standard definition, analog signal from decades ago and blowing it up on a modern, high-resolution monitor. It's going to look pixelated, it might have some visual noise, and the colors won't be perfectly crisp. This device is limited by USB 2.0 bandwidth and the inherent limitations of composite video. Please don't expect 4K remasters of your home videos here. The second major con is the software situation. The marketing images boldly claim easy to capture video, no need driver, right next to an image of the included CD-ROM software. Then, the description says, it includes the driver and software. This is a classic AliExpress contradiction. The reality is, you probably will need to install something or at least tweak some settings. And here's the kicker. When was the last time your laptop actually had a CD drive? If you buy this, you might not be able to use the included disc. You'll likely have to rely on universal capture software like OBS Studio. Fortunately, OBS usually works quite nicely with these generic USB capture cards, but it might require a bit of technical tinkering in the settings menu to get the audio and video synced up perfectly. Finally, there is zero mention of Mac compatibility. It strictly lists Windows operating systems up to Windows 10. While some of these generic chipsets do occasionally work natively on Mac OS with software like QuickTime or OBS, I wouldn't gamble on it if you're exclusively an Apple user. Consider this a PC-only device just to be safe. So, what's the final verdict? Is the LCC-CA USB video capture card worth buying? I'd say yes, but with a specific caveat. This device is highly recommended for the average person who just wants a cheap, quick, and dirty way to rescue their family memories from decaying magnetic tape before they are lost forever. It's also a fantastic low-cost entry point for someone wanting to stream or record retro consoles like a GameCube, PS2, or original Xbox for YouTube without spending hundreds of dollars on a high-end scaler like a RetroTink. However, if you are a video archivist, a quality purist, or someone who wants to preserve these tapes in the absolute highest possible fidelity with perfect color accuracy, this isn't for you. You would need to invest significantly more money into a proper VCR with a time-based corrector and a much higher-end capture device. But for 95% of people just looking to get old videos onto a hard drive to share with family on Facebook or YouTube, this little gadget gets the job done for the price of a fast food meal. Just manage your expectations regarding analog video quality, and be prepared to download OBS Studio if you don't have a CD drive. Alright guys, that wraps up my thoughts on this neat little AliExpress find. Let me know down in the comments. Do you still have old VHS tapes sitting in a closet waiting to be digitized? What's on them? I'd love to hear your stories. If you found this review helpful and it helped you make a buying decision, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you enjoy deep dives into affordable tech, gadgets, and quirky online finds, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.